Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are delving into season 3 of Lost with the very first episode of the season. I am very excited to get into this. Last season we left off on a huge cliffhanger, which is sort of per usual with Lost, and we had Michael and Walt leaving, possibly forever, which is very wild to me because I feel like so much of the first 2 seasons were what is the mystery of Walt's possible powers. So that's interesting. We possibly lost Echo, Locke, Desmond. We had a new character, Penny, come in, and she might have found the island. And we also have Jack and Kate and Sawyer all captured right now by Henry and the others. So there's a lot happening going into this season, and I am very excited and nervous to get some of the answers, but only one way to do that. So let me stop rambling and let's get right into this. I assume that we're going to start right back where we left off. Henry? That looked like Henry. The eyeball. Oh, not at all. It was...
You can't forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go downtown. Things will be great when you're...
We know her? Am I being dumb?
I burnt my hand. And my muffins.
Still hasn't fixed your plumbing yet?
It's a work in progress.
It's not even literature. It's popcorn.
And why isn't it literature, Adam? I'm dying to
There's
know.
no metaphor. It's by the numbers, religious hokum pokum.
No metaphor?
It's science fiction. Now I know why Ben isn't here.
Excuse me?
I know the host picks the book, but seriously, Julie, he wouldn't read this in the damn bathroom.
Silly me for sinking so low as to select something that Ben wouldn't like. Here I am thinking that free will still actually exists on... Whoa. Doorway, get into the doorway.
Earthquake, I assume? Am I... Okay. Ethan. The plant, right? Henry. Okay.
Goodwin.
See where the tail landed?
Yeah, probably in the water.
You run, you can make that shore in an hour. Ethan, get up there to that fuselage. There may actually be survivors. And you're one of them. A passenger, you're in shock. Come up with an adequate story if they ask. Stay quiet if they don't. Listen, learn, don't get involved.
Okay.
I want lists in 3 days. Go.
So he's definitely the leader, like I suspected in the last episode. But what?
So I guess I'm out of the book club.
Ben. Is his name Ben? Little bitch Ben? Has a nice ring to it. So this whole ass community exists on the island. How the fuck? Why the fuck? What the fuck? I'm so confused.
Rise and shine, Kate.
Oh, I forgot his name.
Why don't you just take a nice hot shower? Wake yourself up. Wash
like-
the day off you and start fresh.
As long as you leave
Nice
the fucking
clean
room.
towels, shampoo,
Tom.
soap.
I'm not showering in front of you.
Yeah.
Kate, you're not my type.
Okay. Is he gay? Or... I mean, that was the implication, I feel, based off the way he said it. Ooh.
Warning.
Warning.
I wouldn't do that.
Why?
Want your advice, I'll ask for it.
Son of a bitch!
I'm mean, I did say warning twice. Then he also kind of said warning, so.
Hi, Jack. I'm Juliet.
I know that actress. I don't think that she's in For All Mankind this time, though. Like last time.
Jack, I'm gonna say this as simply as I can.
What's his name?
Jack, stop.
I'm not gonna stop it. I'm gonna keep asking you that until you tell me.
No, I don't ask you what
Just
to do. In
tell me what his
It's-
name is. I want to know.
It's not really your business
Please.
at this point.
You can have everything. The cars, the house, I don't care. I just want to know the name of the man that is with my wife.
Soon to be ex. Also, didn't he cheat? Am I not remembering that right? Because I feel like I am. Someone took her clothes.
Where are my clothes?
That's pretty fucked up. That's real fucking weird. I mean, it's a cute little dress, but I would be more comfortable in jeans and a shirt for sure.
Sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to put those on, Kate.
Okay, and
And
what
if
if
I
she
don't?
doesn't? Yeah.
And you don't get any coffee.
Okay, I just won't have coffee then.
What did you do with Sawyer and Jack?
Now, why Sawyer?
Why Sawyer what?
He's the first one you asked about. What did you do with Sawyer and Jack?
I mean, she asked about them both in the same breath, so.
I brought you here so you'd look out at the water and feel comforted. The next 2 weeks are going to be very unpleasant.
So, he just did it for us to, like, fuck with her mentally, basically.
It's over. Not until I know his name, where he works, where he lives, when they first kissed. I want to know what it is about him.
Maybe he's emotionally available versus you who were not. But also, it's none of your business.
Why is Sarah calling you, Dad?
Probably to tell him to ask you to stop fucking stalking her. It's fine if he's upset. It's fine to go through the grieving process. That makes sense. He's kind of taken it a little too far in the, like, this is very inappropriate.
If you're trying to talk to me, I can't hear you.
Let it go.
That sounds like his dad.
You can trust me, Jack.
Well, yeah, of course you
I'm
would.
not gonna hurt you.
That doesn't make you trustworthy.
Subject escape. Subject escape. Subject escape. Subject escape. Subject.
I just don't trust this guy.
Run that way.
Hold on.
You run that way!
I don't trust him.
Sorry, I involved you in my breakout attempt.
I still don't trust Carl. We've had too many people that have been plants or just fabricating entire identities that I just have zero trust for whoever the fuck Carl is.
A new lady friend? You think maybe that's what
I will not let you talk to
I
me.
will
Do
not let you sleep with my wife.
I figured that's what he thought was happening, but I just really don't think it is.
Jack, please, just let it go.
I mean, even if it is, like, that's really fucked up. Obviously, he has a right to be very upset about it, but, like, I don't think stalking her is the way to do it.
I swear to God, I will kill her.
Okay.
Okay, so
Never open the door and she dies anyway. We all do.
How? If water's coming in that way, could they not get out that way?
What? The yellow button! The button!
I'm just so confused and annoyed at these people. Like, I just don't understand what is happening, like what their goal is. He's being kept in the same place as Sawyer, just like the same location at least, because it has the like kraken or whatever it is as the symbol for the Dharma initiative on it. Squid.
Warning.
Gotcha, Doctor!
You got yourself a fish biscuit. How'd you do that?
I figured out your complicated gizmos, that's how.
Only took the bears 2 hours.
How many of them were there?
Is this one of their stations, the Dharma initiative?
They called it the Hydra.
Hydra.
So you people are just whatever's left over of them.
Well, that was a long time ago. It doesn't matter who we were. It only matters who we are.
Okay, and who are you?
Sarah.
What?
Is that him?
What difference does it make?
It just does.
It's not gonna change.
Look, I want to
anything.
know.
I don't really think he has.
I know who he is.
It doesn't matter
right
who he
to
is.
know.
It just matters who you're not. Jack, your father, he called me to help you. He was so drunk I could hardly understand him. Now you have something to fix.
That's it.
Jack, she's very happy.
Good work, Juliet.
Thank you, Ben.
Little bitch Ben. Is Julie the one that's in Expanse? I think she's in Expanse, right? I don't want to look up to see if it actually, like, if she's on Lost, so I'm looking up Expanse, and, like, I'm pretty sure this is her. But yeah, I remember her from Expanse, which is a great show, and if you haven't watched it, you definitely should watch it, because it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I need to get back into the book series. I read, like, book 1, and that's also very good. So, anyway, I thought that was her, and yeah, that really doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't know how I'm going to feel about her character in this, because, like, I want to like her, but also she seems real shady right now, you know, just like all of the others. They're very shady, and I just, like, I don't understand what they're doing. Like, I don't understand their motivation. I don't understand their backstory enough to know why they're here and what their goal is and what their purpose is. It's interesting that she told Jack it doesn't matter who we were, because he asked if they were part of the Dharma initiative, which I've also been wondering. And she said it just matters who we are now. I wonder if they also were people that maybe were placed here by the Dharma initiative. I wonder if this was some sort of psychological test for them. I wonder if it still is a psychological test for them. I wonder if they are a part of it, if they know what's going on, if they actually, like, understand. At first I'm like, maybe they're just questioning Jack and them, because and all of everybody, because they also want to understand how they got to the island and how they also ended up in this situation. Yeah. I feel like that's kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt in a way, that they're not maybe as much a part of it as they are. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that they're just innocent like, it doesn't make sense to me if they're just people who got put here as part of a psychological experiment and they're just living on this island and a plane crashes. It doesn't make sense that their first thought, if they're just people trapped on this island for whoever knows how long, it doesn't make sense that their first course of action is like, go pretend to be one of them, go pretend to be one of them, let's gather information. Like, it makes sense that they would maybe slowly send out like a person as a test to see, like, who are y'all? Where did y'all come from? Are you safe to be around? That would make sense to me. This seems like such a different thing that I just don't understand. Yeah. I know that I'm not meant to understand. I know that this is supposed to be a mystery, but it's the mystery is being very mysterious, because I can, like, every time I think that I have some sort of handle on what's going on and some sort of idea about what the fuck is happening on this show and on this island, something happens and I'm like, oh, actually, I have no idea what's happening. I still don't know. I'm still very confused. I'm still just as lost, pun intended, I guess, as I was at the beginning. And I wonder if the reason that the show is named Lost is because they want us, the audience, to be lost, right? Because the characters are lost, but so are we. I feel like it's more about us. Because they just want to fuck with us. And honestly, I love them for it. I love how much I don't understand what's happening on this show. And I love how much thought seems to be placed onto every little mystery. And, like, you kind of, like, slowly get these hints of X, Y, and Z. And yeah, it's fun. And it's confusing. Like, when this episode started, I was like, did I forget a whole ass person that we have met? Because this woman, I do not think has been on this show before. And then I heard Ethan, or whatever his real name is, the plant. I heard his voice and I was like, that voice sounds familiar, but I couldn't figure out who it was. But then they showed us fucking Ben, and now we know. It's very interesting though. This is the first time that we've seen the community. It makes me wonder if Walt saw the community, though, because he told Michael, which I guess doesn't really help anybody else now, because Michael did not at all convey this information to anyone, and now he's gone with Walt. But Walt told Michael, they're pretending, like, all of this is fake. So I wonder if that is supposed to be indicative of the fact that Walt has seen that community. Like, he knows who they really are. Maybe that's a moot point at this point since Walt is gone. But I'm curious. I do not trust Carl. Don't trust him. They have tricked us too many times by having somebody play an innocent bystander for me to think that Carl is actually innocent. Like, one, where the fuck would he have come from? He wasn't on the planes, unless he's one of the tailies that went missing. I guess that is possible. We don't know, because I guess we would have no way of knowing unless Echo actually survived, because Ana Lucia is dead. Libby is dead. What was her name? The one that got kidnapped. Someone got kidnapped. And who else? We have Echo, but he's possibly dead. Do we have another tailie? Bernard. Bernard is the only tailie that we have currently, except unless Echo lived again, that is still around to tell us if Carl is or is not legit. So I guess if Carl is a tailie that got kidnapped, but see, even if he's a tailie that got kidnapped, he could be Stockholm syndromed and now a part of their group. So I still don't know that that necessarily would make him trustworthy. But I will say that it is possible that he is a tailie and not just a straight up other. So we'll see. We'll see. I still don't trust him though. TLDR, don't trust Carl. I think it's really weird, the psychological game that Ben is playing with Kate in the scene where he makes her shower and get dressed in like a cute dress because he said he wanted her to feel like a lady, which is weird on multiple levels, but we'll just ignore the weirdness of that one. But it's just, and he gives her like food and like he has a fucking bottle of ketchup and there's eggs and bacon and all this stuff, which like, where is it coming from? Do they have chickens? Do they have pigs? Do they have cows? Like, what else do they possibly have access to on this island? Because that's not food that can easily be like a dried good or a canned good, you know? So that whole breakfast, the whole showering, getting dressed, whatever, it's all just a psychological game that they're playing with Kate. And then for him to tell her like, oh, I'm giving you like the nice memory of the ocean and like thinking about your friends and like this good meal and this cute dress or whatever. So you have something to hold on to for the next 2 weeks. So obviously that's meant to frighten her. It's meant to fuck with her psychologically and put her in like a scared place. Then they take her to this cage. I don't know what they want out of Sawyer in all this, because they haven't really talked to him. They haven't really done anything except just straight up put him in the cage. So it's interesting the different ways they're approaching each of them. With Jack, it really does seem like I think that they think that he's more important, right? They know that he's like the quasi sort of leader. They know that they're all like in the inner circle, I guess, but they know he's like the leader. And so they're treating him differently than they are the others. Like they're fucking making him grilled cheese and fresh fruit and giving him water and stuff. And they haven't done any of that for Sawyer. I don't know if Kate ate the food that was on the table for her, but it doesn't seem like she's going to get that treatment for the next 2 weeks, if Ben is to be believed. So it's really interesting the different ways that they're sort of approaching each of them, and I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. I'm also curious if we will go back with Hugo to the camp in any of these 2 week interim and see more of what's going on there while Jack and Kate and Sawyer are gone. Because I think that's really interesting. And it makes sense that they sent Hugo back as like the person to tell, like, don't come after us, blah, blah, blah. But it's also interesting that they took Sawyer in general because, sure, he's part of the inner circle, but he's not widely loved or cared about on the island, apart from Kate, who's also with them. Like, I don't know that anyone else would mourn him. Like, Jack makes total sense. He's the leader. He's the one you want to get. Kate is, I think, also pretty beloved on the island, and she's also close to the leader, so there's your motivation. Sawyer, maybe because he's a wild card, and you just don't know what the fuck he's gonna do, is why they took him. I don't know. Like I said, I'm interested to see how it plays out going forward. I'm interested to see if I will grow to like any of the others. I fucking hate little bitch Ben. Julie, I don't know. I liked her in Expanse. She has like a very soft, soothing voice, and like the actress makes you want to like her character. So I'm very conflicted because she also just like straight up knocked Jack the fuck out with a punch. And I mean, he did also hold something to her throat and said he would kill her. So, but she's also holding him captive. So I don't know how she could like be upset. Like if you're holding somebody prisoner and they break out and then threaten to kill you, can you really be upset that they did that because of, you know, the fact that you were holding them prisoner? Seems kind of like a logical response to being held prisoner, honestly. So I don't know. I'm also interested, based off the 2-week remark, if they're gonna let them go after 2 weeks. Like we'll just have to see how that goes. We learned that the name of this place is the Hydra. So I'm guessing that's the creature, right? Is a Hydra a creature? Let me look this up. The only Hydra I know is in Marvel. I think it was like a creature in Marvel too, no? Mythical multi-headed serpent from Greek mythology. Okay, so yeah. This is definitely the picture. See, look. My drawing, this picture. It's the same picture. So yeah, that's where they are. And it looks like they are all being kept in different locations of the same facility. I also cannot help but wonder where their fucking little community is with the buildings and the electricity, it seemed like. And like, I'm gonna scroll back to the very beginning of this episode, sorry. Like, I feel like there's like a whole community. Like, they have a whole subdivision. There's lamps. Yeah, she's cooking on the stove. Like, there's a whole ass subdivision here. Like, where did that come from? How did that come to be? Where are we? Also, so in the last episode, Ben told Michael that even if he tried to come back, he wouldn't be able to find the island. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Is there some sort of... What was my theory at the end of season 2? That it might be in an alternate reality? I don't know. I don't know if I'm still convinced of that, but we'll see. We'll see. Hey guys, it is future Carmen here, and I'm inserting myself really quick into this part of the video because I'm about to talk about Jack and Sarah in this episode, and I was reminded by my editor that I had forgotten a pretty important big detail about that whole situation, and that is that Sarah was planning to leave because, before she found out about Jack cheating, because, you know, he had been sort of absent and she felt like she was the only one trying, but also that she had an emotional and physical, I think, affair, like a full-blown affair. And I had completely forgotten that. I had completely just erased that bit from my brain. I think, personally, because I don't have any investment in Sarah. You know, I know that she's not relevant now. And I know that she wasn't relevant when Jack got on the plane. So I kind of just I dismiss her part of the story, I guess. I don't know. And I remember Jack's aspect of the story because I care about Jack and I want to know how the past has impacted his future and his present and his now. Right? So I think that's why I just completely blanked on that. But unfortunately, because I did completely blank on that, I feel like my feelings about Jack and his reactions in this episode have completely changed. Because I don't see it now as him trying to insert himself into a place he doesn't belong, which is like trying to find out who his wife moved on with after they separated, which felt inappropriate to me. But now I'm remembering that it's actually probably more to do with Jack wanting to know who his wife cheated with while they were together, which I think is a very valid thing. Like, I think most of us would feel that way. I don't know if we would go to the lengths that Jack went to, but he was in a really messed up place. I think he felt everything slipping away, and he knew that he was a large part of why it was happening, not the whole part of it, because it takes two to break up a relationship, right? It takes two people not communicating, not connecting, not being there with each other to lead to the events that happened. But I think that a large part of it is Jack fixes things. And I will say this in like 10 seconds, but this is something that he had a part in breaking that he can't fix. And I think that that is sort of the crux of what really, really bothers Jack in this instance, because yeah. Anyway, I do still agree with some of the things that I say in like a second, but I just wanted to put this first because remembering that and being reminded of that about his wife, it really did reframe and reshape my whole perspective on Jack in this episode. And so I just wanted you guys to know that I know now, and I'm sorry that my brain is like a fucking sieve or like Swiss cheese and just does not retain shit. I think the last thing I want to talk about, this episode was really heavy with Jack and just his mental state and kind of paralleling it to his mental state after the sort of disillusion of his marriage with Sarah and everything. And you guys, let me know if I'm remembering this wrong, but I think last season we saw that there was that lady who, her dad was really sick. Did he pass away? I think it was her dad. And then Jack like comforted her, and then they kind of had like a little dalliance and dalliance? You know what I'm saying? And he definitely cheated. No? I feel like I remember that. Like, that was part of what led to Sarah deciding she was done and leaving. So I just feel like it's a bit much for Jack to then be stalking her obsessively, demanding to know the name of her new partner and all this stuff when like he is responsible for the marriage falling apart. And not even just the cheating. Like, I don't think that personally, I don't think that he loved her as much as he loved the idea of her. And also, like, it's hard for me because I was never invested in their relationship because I just didn't feel chemistry between him and Sarah. Like, I'm not super invested in Jack and Kate, but I do feel the chemistry there, right? Like, I know that they, or I feel like it makes sense to me. Jack and Sarah feels off to me. And so I guess maybe that's partially why. But also I don't know. I get that Jack was in a really messed up place mentally. And I get that even if he's the one who fucked it up, even if I don't think he was as in love with her as the idea of her, that a marriage falling apart, especially to Jack, is going to be hard because he, like she said, he fixes things, right? And this is something he can't fix because it's just too far gone. It just doesn't work. And you can't fix something that you broke so irreparably, right? And I think that that's really hard for Jack to be not only not able to fix it, but to be the one who broke it, you know? But I don't know. Jack was just being very much red flag behavior in this episode, right? He's demanding to know the name of the guy she moved on with. He's not acquiescing to the divorce necessarily. he's convinced and accusing his father of being the one to sleep with his wife. Like, he's obviously in a really bad place mentally, but still, it's just like, you cannot stalk your soon-to-be ex-wife, and you can't demand to know the name of the people that she's moved on with. Like, it's just a real bad look for Jack, and I'm glad that the one thing he wanted to know was she happy? I'm not convinced that they know that, even though Julie was like, yeah, she's very happy. Not convinced. But also, the file, do they have, I mean, they have electricity, they have running water, they have, you know, a whole ass community. Do they have fucking internet on this island? Like, how did they find out any of this? Did they get the manifest and just, like, fucking Google search these people? Like, how did they get the files? And does that further prove that all of this, the plane crash, everything, was in fact orchestrated by the Dharma Initiative, and that they hand selected the people that they put on that flight, and they organized all of it, you know? I don't know. I think this was a really interesting way to start out season 3, and I'm really excited to see where they go from here. Like, it feels like this episode felt, I feel like, very dark, like a lot darker than some of the previous episodes, and some of those episodes have felt quite dark because of things that have happened in them. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue season 3. If you guys are also excited and you want to watch episode 2 right now, and you're watching this on YouTube, you can if you head over to my Patreon, which is linked in the description down below. And episode 2 will already be out there if you're watching this on YouTube. Yeah. The day that it airs. Otherwise, who knows? If you're watching this in like a year, there will be a lot more episodes out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you want, because it really helps me out. And yeah, I am very excited for this season, and I hope you guys are too. I can't wait to see you, I can't wait to see more, and I hope to see you guys again in episode 2. Until then, bye guys.